Hey, so nobody's here yet, but today I'm going to talk of what's it all about. Alfie, what's life all about? Connection available. Are we are live? Hello, Daniela Navarro, Prash K. Hey, Prash. Stephen Allen Hill. Let me add my friend Prash. Richard, darling. Hello, Prash. How do I? No, I don't want to wave. I want to add you. Bring them on camera. Come on. I'm trying, Master Prash. Add. There we go. What's it all about, Alfie? That's today's subject. What's life all about? What are we doing? Hello, Prash. Can you hear
Hello,
me?
mate. I can indeed.
I'm glad you could join us. And you look so dapper tonight. You've put on a nice
Thank you.
shirt. I'm just
Made
coming
the
back
effort a
to you.
little bit today. Yeah, made the
So
effort
you're
for you.
my Asian brother from another mother. The Indian
Absolutely,
Tony
mate.
Robbins.
The Indian Tony Robbins, indeed.
So my tagline tonight. We did something the other day. We ultimately, me and Prash, we're running a retreat in September. And we thought this was a very effective way to get our message across to make the world a little bit better for everybody in your own way.
Absolutely.
You know, because we come up with so many different topics, and I thought, well, what about this one? I people pleased my whole life, and everybody people pleases, and we end up not living a very fulfilling life because of that.
Yeah.
You know, your whole life. I was a fighter for half my life, and I'm like, I say half my life because I'm hoping I've got another half to live. I've been a fighter for nearly 30 years, and I'm 43 years young. And I want to live. And why was I a fighter? An insecure little boy who wanted acceptance, trying to prove he was tough. And is that really what I wanted to be? I became a soldier to again be tough. I can hear a funny crackling. Can you? Is it gone?
Yeah, you're good.
What's that noise? Can you hear that?
No,
Can you
it's all
hear
right.
that, Prash?
No, you're good, Alex. Go for it, mate.
Oh, okay. So all these years, I wanted to be. All I wanted was love, and I was being a tough guy. And I'm like, if I could only
Yeah.
have reached that self-acceptance and that knowing of what I really wanted to do and really be, I could have
Yeah.
lived a much more fruitful life. I've still got a long way to go and accomplished a lot more of that focus. But we do things, we please other people. You'll have a partner, and sometimes I'm going to use that metaphorical. I was a metaphorical prostitute.
Yeah.
You know, being a mercenary to just bring the bucks in, doing things to please other people, and that wasn't what I really wanted. I swallowed the celebrity pill, and this is great, this is wonderful, and man, it made me so unhappy. And now I'm going back to blood, sweat, and toil and tears to earn a crust, and I actually feel really good inside about it.
Yeah.
You know,
There's joy in the
so
grind.
I mean, I still have desires, ambitions to life be a little bit easier because at the moment it's hard work. But the thing is, people say it doesn't have to be hard work, you know, the law of attraction and all that jazz. But I really think if you really want something, if it's too easy, you're never going to appreciate it. So
Totally.
I'm actually appreciating some of the toil because I feel like I'm getting credibility back and a sense of self-worth and empowerment. I'm like, that feels good. And no amount of money can give you that. You have to earn that. And that's when you've built something, and I'm building something now, when you feel the passion, you feel the
Yeah.
authenticity. And that is worth its weight in gold. And that's what
Totally.
I'm creating.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you're a coach, Prash, and I know I'm a coach, but I'd like to hear your take on that. Because we've not actually, we're mates and we talk each other, and as friends we share each other's knowledge. But I'd like to take what's your point on that, because I've never actually spoken to you as a coach,
Yeah.
as you my
No, good
coach.
show. As a coach, it's fascinating to see how many people, and I think you're what you said is scarily true. It's fascinating to see how many people think that the easy way out, the easy route is the best route. And the easy route isn't always necessarily the best route. And I think a lot of times, and we're talking about people pleasing here in this subject, a lot of times people end up pleasing people because it's the easier thing to do. It's the less confrontational thing to do. It's the thing that's going to make life easy. Now, is there anything wrong with making life easy? No. But is there anything wrong with putting yourself as a second-rate passenger, right, as a backseat passenger in your own life? Oh, hell yeah, there's plenty wrong with that.
Let me just cut you off there for a second, because I hear myself saying it. What you say goes out your mouth and comes back in your head. I've talked bad of myself to other people, to be disparaging, to sort of like, with an insecurity, to get in like the jibe or the joke they might have about me before they've even thought it, as a self-protection mechanism. And I'm like, hold on. Why am I saying such, excuse my language, shitty things about myself? And it's only as I'm starting to love myself again, and I'm realizing I've got to stop doing this. I'm saying bad things around other people about myself. You know,
completely. And I want, and let me just chime in there, because this is one of the things that we touch on regularly, and this is one of the reasons why coming on retreats like this, and folks, you're tuned in right now. We got something really very special to share with you, and we'll go into it. We're not going to spoil the surprise. Stay with us on this chat, and we're going to reveal some really, really, really valuable and beautiful things that I think are going to surprise you. But let me just say here, straight from the outset, that sometimes you need other people who are not your close friends, who are not your immediate dependents, to shine a mirror on you so that you can see how badly you're treating yourself or you're treating other people as a result of the way you're conducting.
Just what you said there, I don't listen to my missus or the people who I love the closest, because it's weird. You kind of got a protection. They don't have,
right?
Although you respect them, you don't respect them.
Yeah, Nicola's saying here, Nikki's here, be proud of who you are and your family love you, and you know how I feel, always have time for you always. And what a beautiful thing. That's the thing. You end up pleasing, isn't it ironic that sometimes we end up pleasing people, the very people who actually don't really give a damn about us, or who aren't going to be with us when the chips fall down. And we hurt the people who actually really care for us, and we take them for granted. And isn't it the same the other way around? I think
you shared a post earlier on with, is it Will Smith? Did you share that one?
Yeah, Will Smith's post. Yeah.
So remind people what the post was.
Yeah, Will Smith's post was really about, you know, deferring, getting back to yourself and recognizing that you need to put yourself as number one in that driving seat sometimes. I actually post I'll post it up here, Alex. Good shout. It's a really nice post actually, and we put it up there.
Why do you spend so much time pleasing people who don't matter?
Yeah, absolutely. We get stuff that you don't need, right?
And as I'm in my 43, nearly 44 years of age, I'm doing that less and less. I mean, obviously, I still like to have my self-worth, and I like to feel good for myself. And if other people think I look good, that makes me feel good. But more importantly, I need to feel good inside before I do any of that stuff.
And I think that's an important point. I think there's several points here that need to come out. And folks, tell us if you relate to this. Have you been on the receiving end of somebody treating you badly because they're trying to people please somebody else and they're treating you like crap, right? Or have you been the person doing that, right? Inadvertently, maybe, not deliberately, but because you feel you need to go and please this person over here, you're treating somebody else like dirt, right? And you don't necessarily mean it, right? We don't necessarily mean to do that. But what happens is there is a clash between our ego and our defense mechanism and our consciousness. And these three things are now having a fight off. What do you call it, Alex, in your language? A death match? You know, okay, you know what I'm saying? You got two opponents trying to go for each other, and none of them are necessarily wrong. It's not like your ego's an enemy, but there is an aspect of your ego that you need to satisfy. Then there's your fear, fight or flight mechanism. You're feeling like, well, if I don't do this, you know, I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose this lady, this guy. They're not going to love me anymore. They're going to hate me. They're not going to value me. So really, you got to ask yourself, folks, why you behave in a certain way. You really need to step out yourself and ask yourself, is the thing that I'm doing really for my better good, or am I actually a backseat passenger in my own life? What do you think, Alex?
I think I'm reading some of I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm also reading some of the comments. I totally
And
agree
you
with
can
you,
see that,
Bobby.
right? Bobby's coming in really well.
Confidence. And I've got lots of good friends who've been saying very like mine. I'm totally with you, mate. Totally. So, but the thing is, we all listen. I know all this stuff intrinsically, and I live it. And I still have moments where I find myself thinking negative things,
Yeah.
and having negative thoughts. I mean, I like to say I'm human. I'm continually working on myself, and
Yeah.
what I do is I don't chastise myself. Whereas before, I used
No.
to, for instance, I'd get, because I've been in the media just a little bit, I'd
Yeah.
look at something like the Daily Mail online, and there'd be 1,000 comments. It'd be, I exaggerate, maybe 2 bad comments, and I wouldn't see the 998 great comments. So
Yeah.
it's because you start to become attuned to how your mindset is, and you notice certain things. So it's about trying to be kind to yourself, not trying to being kind to yourself and listening to the right messages, you know, because they're all
There's
out there.
absolutely a lot of truth to be
The
said
world could
about
be
that.
pants, the world could be pants, or the world could be great. Both are true. I could find
Yeah.
evidence right now to see all the horrible things that are going on in this country, not in Iraq or Sierra, you know,
Yeah, right here.
all these, yeah.
But the thing is, we're talking about countries, Alex. We're talking about countries. What about just, this is happening right on our doorstep. This is in our own households, right? People aren't
Especially in today's world, the
the
Western
house.
world, we're all on drugs. And I'm not talking about recreational, and there's enough of that, but it's actually more prescription. We are in a world, we're doped up on so many drugs, the whole of our nation. It's horrendous. We've been dumbed down. And I'm not even being conspiracy theorist. I'm looking at the facts. What are all these drugs doing to us? You know, there's so much depression now. It's rife. I wonder if we're one of the most unhappiest times in human civilization, even though we have more advancements in technology. You go to other countries where they have less, and they seem to be intrinsically happier. What's that?
Yeah.
What are they doing there? What are we doing?
So let's talk about that, because what's going on, and I see this in I see this in the coaching practice. I see it in our coaching clients, especially the coaching clients that I have who are from, either the UK, Australia, the States. A lot of these poor people, and I say poor, I don't mean financially poor. Many times they're financially well off, but a lot of these poor folk have been dumbed down and programmed and conditioned to accept a certain form of reality, where a certain societal status, right? A certain status in society, a certain type of car, a certain type of social status, material possessions, and a certain type of payroll and a certain type of salary is regarded as the standard of success. So now we've been programmed to chase that like a guided missile, right? We've been programmed in there. Now we're chasing it. Guess what? Society is now programming. Guess what? Social media is telling it. The advertisers are telling it. Our friends have got one of those cars. Then somebody's got a really amazing looking partner and they think, well, I should have one of those. And suddenly we've been programmed into somebody else's definition of success, which means what? Kind of said what I said before. We've become a backseat passenger in our own goddamn lives because we've given away that, right? That ability to make that choice. And the difference is those people out there in Africa, and I was born in East Africa. I was born in Kenya. And I've been back to India, my homeland, so many times. Those people who are simple, right? You go to Brazil, a lot of these kids in the barrios, they're really happy just playing. And even the adults are happy. Why? Because they have their own calibrated definition of happiness, which is not reliant on material acquisition. And they're happy. Now, a lot of you people listening might think, well, that's a cop-out. If they had the money, they'd probably go and buy all that. Sure. Would they? Yeah, probably. But does it really matter? Does it really matter? Because really what matters is happiness is now. You don't actually live for happiness. It's not like you live for happiness in the future. Your happiness is always a present state. So what matters more then? For you to be happy in 5 years when you get that car, that job, that pay rise, that girlfriend, that boyfriend? Or being happy right now, being content right now, being satisfied and grateful for the stuff that you have got in your life that's going right, so that you resonate and you act and you breathe and you've grow from a pace of happiness here and now. And then guess what? Those things will start to come in the way they're supposed to, because you're already satisfied within yourself. And you're feeling that, right? I mean, you know this. You're living proof right now, man. You're living proof of this.
Yeah. I had money a couple of times. I've lost money a couple of times.
Yeah.
When I forget about the money. When I had the good fame, if there was such a thing, and I was riding high, I wasn't really happy. It was like, I call it the LSD years. I wasn't taking LSD, but it was like life was surreal. I was on a trip, and I was out. I didn't feel real. Couldn't believe it. I'm everywhere for a second, and I could pretty much have wherever I wanted. Wow, it's unreal. But unreal didn't feel good. Didn't feel good. Now I've sort of crashed, and then I'm picking myself up. Hang on a minute, that wasn't what it was all made up to be. What do you really want? I thought what I really wanted was all that fame. And I said before I went to the Big Brother house the day before, I never wanted to go in. I never wanted to be famous for being famous, but I got swept along with the whole whirlwind of the whole fame thing, and it seduced me, and it was like a dirty drug. It was the biggest drug I was ever addicted to, fame. I went into that Big Brother house innocent, and I came out, I was still innocent, but then it slowly took hold of me, and I just lost a sense of who I was. And now I'm starting to regain the kid who I like fame. I'd like to be famous for having accomplished something, but having worked at something. That's why I trained as an athlete for 25 years. You know, went to the gym, scared, hard, toiled and struggled. I trained as an actor for years and years, you know, and it was hard work. It was scary, but to hear a clap of an audience or the cheer of a crowd is the most rewarding thing in the world. Forget about whatever you're getting paid. Even if I wasn't getting paid, sometimes I'd pay to fight. And now it's like, what do I really want? I actually didn't want to be a fighter, funnily. I was fighting because I was insecure. It was an outside pressure, which I thought, this is how I need to conform. Because I was different and people laughed at me and bullied me, I thought this is one way of getting acceptance. That's not what I really want. What I like to do is entertain people and to make people think. As an actor, I feel that the greatest gift I have is to nudge souls. And if I can do that, and that's what I really want to do now, that's what I'm doing. And why I'm so infused to do this retreat, because although it's not acting, I'm getting to nudge souls. And that's one of the most fabulous things. Enrich people's lives, raise their vibrancy. I'm sounding a bit hippie freaky here, but generally, if I just have it, when I train people at my boot camp, when I see them getting excited and happy, it's the most amazing feeling. And see how I've created an energy shift. I've improved their lives a bit. And that's wonderful. That's that's what I get. That's where I get my payment. Obviously, I want to get some money as well because I've got bills to pay. But I trust that will happen. I'm not money motivated. I'm motivated by results and accomplishing and feeling happy and making other people feel happy.
I think you've just hit the nail on the head. I think this is a point. And folks, you're with us. Tell us if you can resonate with this, that ultimately happiness, being happy, being content, having a feeling of inner satisfaction is more about doing your work or your hobby or your passion or your livelihood in a nice way, doing it in a way that gives you satisfaction that you're doing it well, and making the difference in the lives of other people around you and in your own life. Ultimately boils down to that. Jim Rohn said that, happiness really boils down to those simple things. Jim Rohn's, Anthony Robbins' coach, right? Mentor. He said famously, the happiness boils down to a few things. How well you do the work that you put in your hand, how satisfied you feel when you've done a good day's work or a good week's work, and what difference you've made in the lives of yourself and the people around you. And when you start to, I think for me, when I started to simplify, and that's what you're doing, you're simplifying, you're deconstructing that massive, huge huge layer cake, right? Guy Ritchie's layer cake, that huge cake that was built over the years, and you're now deconstructing into a simple thin layer flan, right? It's just one layer. And when you look at the one layer, guess what? It's easier to digest. It tastes sweeter. It's less complicated. You can feel the flavor. You can get it. And I know Naomi, Juliet, Louise said a great point here. Manish, a lot of people who are tuned in and listening to right now, I think they resonate with what we're saying, that ultimately simplicity, more simplicity, less people pleasing, and our lives start to become happier right now, even without the extra $10, even without the extra £1,000 in the bank account, even without the fact that you haven't got that girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife cooperating the way you want. Without all of that, it can be happy right now. But people are missing a trick because they think it's got to be over there. It's somewhere over there, right, Alex? The happiness is out there, it's somewhere here. And I think on the retreat, and let's just touch on the retreat here. That's one of the things on this retreat. Let's talk about that. We're not here just to take you guys on a holiday and give you a nice time and send you back home, and that's it. That's not what this retreat is about. The retreat has to be about having fun, having an awesome time with meeting new people, but also making a transformation, making pennies drop, right? Something's going to flick and click for you to say, wow, this is going to be a new change I'm going to take back in my life, and I'm going to make a difference in my life. And
I'm sure you have. You've probably done more than me. I've been on how many seminars, retreats, and I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And
absolutely.
I've never felt at first, I wanted to be the next Anthony Robbins, and I felt like, no, I saw so much gimmicky, and I've saw all of the crap. I'm not trying to say ours is the best, because it is the best. But what I'm trying to say is,
but it is the best.
Retreats, and I promise this and promise that. Ultimately, what we want to do is make you have a very good time, make you see the world in a little different way with other like-minded people, giving you some tools, some easy tools you can take away. It's going to be fun. It's going to be tough in places, but only as tough as you want it to be.
Yeah, I love that. I love what you're saying. And I love what Bobby's saying. Bobby's saying raising the vibration. Naomi says doing the inner work. Yes, Naomi, it's about doing the inner work. And obviously, because it's Alex is going to make you do the outer and inner work. We're going to be there together, right? I'm going to help you with the inner work. Alex is going to help you with the inner work and the outer work. And it's both.
What I want to say about that, look, my lessons are, I try and make them Mr. Miyagi style, if you know the Karate Kid. It's like a life lesson while we're doing a workout. And so this is why I just said, I left it kind of open. It's going to be as tough or as easy as you want it to be. I imagine if I get into your mind right, it's going to be really tough, because I'm not the one who's going to be pushing you. You're going to be pushing yourself. And that's, I have had trainers. I've had drills. I'm an ex-squaddy. I've had drill sergeants. My trainer she scream and shout at me. But the best workouts, when I got my PBs, my personal bests on certain exercises, there was no one there. It was just me. And I got into a zone of being my best friend, my best trainer. And I didn't do it like, come on, you got to do it. It was with love, with absolute love and passion. And oh my God, I was unconquerable. I was invincible. I was like, I got my best running time ever, but just no one was there. I mean, I was like, because I was in the zone and I was listening to myself. And it's learning how to get those personal bests. Yeah. Because we're not always going to have your coach. You're not always going to have your buddies. You've got to learn how to be your best buddy. And that takes some training, because, I mean, some people are just absolutely naturally gifted and in tune with themselves. That's great. I personally, it's good to have I've gone and learned different techniques all over the world with all sorts of masters and different people, even on my doorstep. And those people have helped me to become my best trainer. So it's good to go and get some training, but ultimately you want to be your own best trainer. So we are going to teach you some tools on how to be your own best trainer.
Exactly. And it's got to be that way, because that's when the people pleasing starts to stop. That's when we recognize that, we need to be our own best friends. We need to be our own best guides. I love what Naomi and some of the others are saying here. There's so much truth coming up. Bobby, Naomi, Jessica, I know you're going to join us in a bit. Mitz, there is so much truth in this, that sometimes It's easy to go out with your friends and go on holidays with your mates. Everybody agrees, right? You want to go with your friends and family, everybody can have a great time. But to go out by yourself on a group outing like this, like a 4-day retreat, where you don't necessarily know many people. You know Alex, that's great. Some of you may know me,
Hey.
of course, and that's fine. Hey, we're both here. But when you come and meet a group of people who may be strangers in the beginning, but who have no judgments about you, they're not trying to judge how wealthy, how smart you are, how well educated you are. They're there on a level. It's a great level. It's a level playing field. They're all
Absolutely.
in for one purpose, to
Like-minded
better
people
themselves.
asking questions.
Absolutely.
Like-minded people asking questions.
Massive.
What's it all about?
Absolutely. What's it all about? Why do I have to suffer? Does it have to be this way? Can I live a better way? Can I improve my life, my health, my personal finances, my relationships? Can I do this in a way that doesn't make me somebody who I'm not wanting to be, that I can still be my true self, and that I can do it in a way that doesn't break me? And that's the wisdom that we're going to bring out on this retreat, right? That's going to be what we're going to learn. It's not for everyone. We don't want anyone and everyone coming on this retreat. It's not for everyone. If you are not willing to just be open-minded and just be ready to have an incredible experience, which is really fun, no drugs, no alcohol, none of this stuff is involved. It's just an incredibly authentic, holistic, nourishing experience with a bunch of people who you could have the best time of your life, even though they're strangers at the beginning and they become your best mates at the end. That's the kind of people we want on this retreat, right? And you've seen it, Alex. We've been down this road, so you know, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm quite good at making friends. I can go into a room where the atmosphere is, you can cut the tension with a knife, and everyone thinks they're all horrible, nasty people, because I know I love myself and I'm a good guy. I almost take it as a challenge to go in there and be right. I'm going to change this atmosphere. But the thing is, nobody's going to be like that here. Everyone's going to be happy. There might be people with stuff going on in their head, but you're in the right place to be able to, if you want or if you don't want, to share or not share. It's just going to be known that the people on here are all coming to better their lives. And to spiritually, emotionally, and the body, physically.
Yeah. And they're just going to happen to have some really, and they're just going to happen to have some really awesome food and company.
Yeah. And if all those three things happen, financially, property is going to come as well. Because if you're
totally.
spiritually, physically, and emotionally happy, you're going to be. But it doesn't even have to be financial. I wanted to say an analogy. There was a cartoon I saw of a guy who landed on a desert island, and maybe you can remember this. And he's looking around at this beach. He thought, if I could get some building supplies, if I could build a hotel here, that'd be really good. I can make lots of money, and we'll get tourist attractions in, and it'd be great. And I've built this in his imagination. He's built this whole hotel and
right here
around it, and then I'll be rich enough to just lie on the beach and do nothing. And he starts going in a full circle. So he's got nothing in his imagination. He's built the whole beach, and he goes back to what he really wants to do is lie on the beach. So I said that as a bit convoluted. Finances for me, I've had money, I've lost money. I've had money, I've lost money. I'm making some money now. It isn't about finances for me. It's as long as I've got enough to do what I want to do. It's good to be financially free, financially secure. That's wonderful. But more importantly is emotionally. And to me, they go hand in hand, because I need some money to obviously pay the bills and put food on the table. But as long as that's happening, I'm feeling great. And that is more important to me than making millions. I believe that's coming regardless.
You know, it's funny.
Sorry.
I think.
Sorry.
Now, go on, man. I love what you're saying, but I got to chime in because there's a crazy wordplay going on here. The English word. Let me just chime in with my Indian background, my knowledge of Sanskrit. Sanskrit's the oldest language in the world. Alex, we talk about this. And that's one of the conversations I'm sure we'll have on the retreat, right? These mystical conversations about where did life start? Was it on planet Earth? Was it through outer space? So that, I'm not going to get you going on that, because I know this will become I'm not even going to get you started there. But the thing is this:
the Anunnaki.
the Anunnaki. But what I want to say is the word finance, it's interesting because if you deconstruct that word, find, and ants, in Sanskrit, the word ants, Sanskrit's the oldest language in the world, for those of you who are tuned in and maybe not be aware of this. And there is a root word, there's a verb in Sanskrit called ansa. And ansa means to get to the bottom of, get to the root of. So when you're talking about finance, isn't it strange that what it's saying is you've got to find the root, you've got to find the answer. We're rushing after finance thinking it's dollars.
Yes.
But actually
Yes.
what you've got to do is finance. The word is actually saying, go find the answer
I
in
never knew
here.
that. That's
Why
great.
did you, I'm telling you, why do you want this money? And everybody says, I want money because I want to be happy. Well, how are you going to be happy with the money? And then when you deconstruct it, and you know this, Paul McCartney, we don't, you know, how many countless celebrities.
The Tale of Solomon. I'm going to get biblical on you now. I think he asked God about for money, and he didn't. He wants money so he can build a better life for his country and his world.
Right.
And that's why he gets the money, because he wants to build something greater. Obviously, I want lots of money. The reason why, because I want to give more. There's so much I want to do, and it's a flow. The more money I get, the more I can give.
The more you flow it out, you push it, you take it out again.
But ultimately, my desire isn't to get money; it's to make stuff, to do stuff. So if I'm in that zone, in that flow, in that vibe,
right,
the money's coming, baby. Oh yeah.
It is about aligning. It is that attitude. And folks, don't worry, we're not trying to go all secret and woo-woo on you here. That's not what we're doing. What we're talking about is we're talking about metaphysics, and this is the important point. We're talking about metaphysics. We're not talking about woo-woo stuff that some people might get scared by or think turn their nose at. Yeah. We're talking about metaphysics. We're talking about vibrational alignment. That is to say that everything is thought energy. And that's how we create. You said that at the beginning of the call, right? That guy on the island, he thought of it in his mind, and that would have created this mobile phone that most of us are watching this on was created as a thought in somebody's head, who then engineered a device that gradually became a mobile phone, right? So everything begins as a thought. And so how important would it, how magnificent and helpful would it be if we learn to train those thoughts in a way that's helpful to creating money, relationships, finance, good health, etc., rather than those thoughts working against us, right? Rather than those thoughts working.
1,000,000%. Hello, I've lost you. Hello.
We need to work. We need to get those thoughts working for us, not the other way around. And so, talking of that, Alex, let's give a little taster of what's happening out there, folks. So for those of you folks who have not been made aware yet, where have you been? Alex and I are running a beautiful 4-day mind, body, soul wellness retreat to an incredible destination in the heart of southern Hungary, 200 kilometers south of the capital Budapest, in a 300-acre eco valley, the largest eco farm of its kind in Europe. There is a beautiful spiritual ashram, sanctuary, peace place, modeled, get this, on North Indian architecture, fused with Hungarian traditions in the middle of this valley, right next to a beautiful luxury spiritual spa where we're going to be spending 4 days.
Tell me, why does the North Indian architecture come into it?
The North Indian architecture came in because the sanctuary has been based on teachings and foundings from Eastern traditions, and they've modeled it in this incredible way. And North Indian architecture is some of the most famous architecture known on the planet. The Taj Mahal, for example, is North Indian architecture.
So it's made with absolute love and power.
It's made with absolute love, and they don't use steel, so it's all stone. It's an incredible place in the middle of southern Hungary, and it's 30 minutes away. This is the crazy part. It's 30 minutes away from the largest lake in Central Europe. Nobody knows this place exists in the middle of Hungary, Lake Balaton, with beautiful beaches, volcanic beaches, sandy beaches, wine regions. I mean, this place is out of this world. And so, folks, this is our invitation for you to join us on this retreat for 4 days, 3 nights, 4 days, from Tuesday, September the 17th until Friday, the 20th of September, including a beautiful excursion to Lake Balaton, and obviously a wonderful half-day trip, at least,
exercises, classes with me, with Prash. his lovely wife,
Absolutely.
who happens to be a fantastic meditation teacher and Reiki healer.
Absolutely.
We've got, it's set in a fantastic spa. We can have massages and all that sort of thing. Fabulous, guys. I don't know what more to say. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. This is my first retreat in Hungary, which I'm taking. And I wanted to get this off the ground. I thought it seemed like a lot of money, but looking at it, I think it's still a bargain at 795. Okay. But I said to Prash, can we knock it down? I've got some people who I want to make it affordable as possible to them. And Prash has like kindly agreed. Tell them the magic surprise. But it's only, you've only got, I think, 10 places left. Or is it, have they gone now? We had 15.
No, we've got spaces. We still got spaces, but those ones that you're referring to, yeah, we're down to about 7 or 8. But folks, look,
wow.
Listen, it's very simple. We run the best value retreat, hands down. This is what I've been doing with my team for over 10 years. So we have an excellent reputation in running awesome retreats. Alex, you've obviously been with us on our retreat. So you've obviously you know how we roll, and you know why we love what we do. That's why you love what we do. And folks, what we want to do is extend this beautiful invitation to those of you out there. We do speak to pretty much.
So how much am I getting off, Prash? It was 795. What is
it?
What's the Brucey bonus?
750 is what the price is. The full price is 750, which is brilliant. I mean, it's better than market price for a retreat like this. That 750 includes everything other than your flights and any optional spending money and treatments. Other than that, it's all included. That means your accommodation, beautiful luxury accommodation, shared accommodation in beautiful apartments, 3 beautiful gourmet cuisine meals a day, all your workshops and activities with Alex, with the team, everything that we're going to do, yoga, meditation, conscious breathing, conscious hiking and walking, martial arts, fitness, personal transformation workshops, where the stuff that we're talking about here, and I think this is really important, the stuff that we've been discussing in this call, we're going to go deeper into. We'll have workshops that we work on the mind, on the physical side, and on our spiritual side. So we really work on those areas. Lots of free time as well. Beautiful excursions. All of that's included in 750. You only pay for your flights and any spending money and any massages, which I know you'll probably want to have. There's a swimming pool. There's a jacuzzi. The place is incredible. But to your point, Alex, I think it's the next 7. We need to check. I think there's 7 or 8 left. For the next 7 or 8 people, we're going to make that discounted to 550. We'll take £200 off. That offer is available for those of you who can grab this. Folks, it's obviously limited. We've got limited supply. Actually, sorry, I'm just getting a note here. It's for the next 13 people we can do it. The next 13 people we can do that price at 550. And that's only over for a limited period of time. But we'd love to have you. It includes everything. I mean, there's not much more to say.
Other than places, I thought there was. I got 5 people today who wanted it. Anyway, I'll talk about that later. But
well, let's check it out.
Yeah.
I think we can get 13 in. I think we can do that.
Yeah.
Folks, it's an incredible experience. You're going to meet people that you either know or you don't know, but the same thing is going to happen. You're going to walk away empowered, inspired, entertained, because it's Alex. You're absolutely going to get entertained, and you're going to be informed. You're going to be a wiser, smarter, healthier version of yourself going back, and you're going to be a joy to be around. The people around you are going to say, hey, I've noticed the transformation in your face. Have you been having something, or are you just on a natural high? And you're going to be able to say, I'm on a natural high of life.
And back scratching. You'll make friends where they're not back scratching. Because people who go through this sort of stuff, it becomes a bit emotional. You know, it doesn't have to be that emotional, but I'm pretty sure I guarantee it will be. I mean, if you're not a high five, a happy clapper, let's go and hug some trees. Don't worry, you don't have to do that. And we're not happy clapping, high fiving tree huggers, but we can be if you like to be. Actually, I hugged a tree yesterday. I have to say, I walked through the forest and did some forest bathing, because this is where we're going to teach you techniques, and you probably realize how you feel good when you've gone out in nature. I've studied this backwards. The trees, the plants in a forest, they release chemicals which lower your
stress levels and your cortisol. It's your cortisol.
That you go into your parasympathetic nervous system, which is you go there when you meditate, when you do deep hypnosis, when you have really deep sleep. It makes you, heals you, regenerates you. And we're going to be showing you techniques like this. So let's guess what? Hugging a tree is actually a really good thing for your immune system, for your stress level. So next time you see a hippie tree hugger, that's probably me. Don't laugh. Or you can laugh. It doesn't matter.
No, no, no.
We're
So
going to
true,
teach you.
though.
It doesn't matter. Sorry?
It's so true, though. It is, because it releases, it counteracts cortisol. It increases your oxytocin. And a lot of the work that we're going to do, it's actually to rebalance the chemical factory that we have in our own body, right? And Alex, you know, you're no stranger to this, right? When we get into a powerful and a happy state, we start releasing the kind of things that we need. Dopamine, right? The inspiration chemical, serotonin, it starts coming out. For those of us, when we do the fitness work, IGF-1, testosterone, the things that we need to work out, our cortisol comes down. And I don't mean to go technical on everybody at this time of night. And, you know, sorry, if I am, I'm sorry. It's my passion as a coach, as a motivational speaker. And, you know, the crazy stuff that I do is just coming out. But, you know, frankly, you know what? I don't care, because I had a shitty lifetime coming up. I had so much dark days, and I used to think about taking my life plenty of times, and I almost did. And what got me through is learning to rely upon myself, taking coaching, receiving coaching, and then learning to be my own coach, and learning to put myself in the front seat. And that's what we talked about at the start of the call, Alex. You know, for years, you've been people pleasing. For years, people on this call are people pleasing. We've got to learn to balance that people pleasing that we got to do sometimes for our work, for our family, right? We got to balance that with pleasing ourselves, not pleasing our ego, not pleasing our insecurities. Don't get me wrong. We're not pleasing our ancient wounds, right? That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about pleasing our true essence, which is what you're doing now, man. I mean, who would have thought that here you are, 2019, you're running some of the best boot camps anybody's ever seen in the UK. You're busting the gut doing it, and actually you're having the best time of your life. Who the hell would have thought?
Is that our alarm to say it's time to go?
That's it, man.
I think we're finished, aren't we, folks? It wasn't that short, and it was sweet though. But
yeah,
we just want to finish off with, if you enjoyed this, message me or Prash, and if you're interested in our retreat, which is from the 17th to the 21st of September in Hungary, it's currently, we have 13 or 14 places at 549.
549 for the next 13 people, I think.
But then is 750.
That's 27% off. It's huge. It's a big discount.
Which is a great bargain at that price. 3 avant-garde meals a day, conscious breathing, conscious walking, workshops, martial arts, exercise from extreme to sedentary. You're the one who's going to be pushing you.
And spiritual music at night, spiritual meditation combined with mantras, mantra therapy at night, man. Candles, low lights, getting into a deep state and getting into this powerful musical feeling. Yoga during the day, even for beginners, right? We're going to make it real accessible for people. Yoga and just great contact with nature, conscious hiking, walking, and transformational sessions like this, right? Sessions like this to help us to uncomplicate our minds and become unstuck, man.
And lots of fantastic talks, lots of friendly people,
yeah, man,
and having fun and excursions. And with that, guys and girls, I'm going to bid you adieu. Me and Prash are available. Follow Prash.
Give us a shout.
Prash's details are on here if you want to. I'll post them in a minute. And Prash, if you could post the Will Smith link, just so people who missed that.
I will, man. I'll post the Will Smith link. I'll also post, I know people have asked as well here, my coaching page as well. So if you guys like the sound of this, and if you want a crazy, fun-loving, and slightly nutty coach in your life to help you, drop me a line. My details are there. It's a pleasure to serve. Any friend of Alex's, friend of mine, man. So drop us a line. I'll share those details too, Alex. And of course, the details on the retreat. Come and join us. Have the time of your life. Get those flights while they're a good price as well. Alex, I always have a great time doing this stuff with you. We can just jam all night, man. Let's do this again sometime.
I like it.
And give us a topic, folks. If you're enjoying this, give a topic. If there's a particular topic or theme, a life area that you want us to work on, share with it on another life, put that topic or a life area down, and we'll go and tackle that. All right? Lots of love, man. Alex,
later, kids.
Get some Sunday. You've got the boot camp tomorrow. Cheerio, guys. Peace out.
Bye-bye.